Morning. Today I've woken up in Sydney. So no, I haven't left. I haven't gone anywhere. I haven't made an escape this weekend. So I figured we should check out the Sydney Eastern Suburbs, famous Bondi Beach, and see what it's like to actually live in the city in a van, because it's actually pretty cool and I love it. And it can be a little bit different. So let's go check that out today. Morning, I woke up in Maroubra. I've actually not really checked this place out too much. It's a little bit further south from Bondi Beach. So you've got like Bondi Beach, Tamarama, Bronte Beach. I think there's another one, and Coogee, and then we hit Maroubra. So it's only 20 minutes away, but I figured it might be a little bit quieter here. I'm going to check the surf right now. But I really just wanted to bring you on a little bit of a tour of the eastern suburbs and the eastern beaches in Sydney. And it's where I spend a lot of my time during the week while I'm working in the city, just not too far from Bondi Beach. It's only sort of, Bondi Junction, 15 minutes from the city. Pretty easy to get in there each morning, and lots of places to park for free. So we'll talk about that today. It was like where I park, how convenient it can actually be living in a van. So let's go check out the surf first of all, most importantly. Couldn't be any more flat if you tried. It looks like a bay. So we're definitely not surfing today. First things first, and I think you'll know what the time means now then, is my medicinal hot chocolate. Time to head back to the van, do that. We'll go for a drive along the coast, check out some of the other beaches, and I'm going to skip through all of that in B-roll nice and quickly for you. We'll end up at Bondi Beach. I'll have a quick chat there, tell you a little bit more about my van life, where I sleep during the week.
I'm lost in your energy. You got me feeling weightless, no gravity. I feel so high when you look at me. Caught up in your sweet, sweet fantasy. Oh my God, it's so electric, unexpected, oh. Oh my God, this feels so reckless, drop my defenses. You got that good vibe, you give me that good vibe all night. You get me so high, so high. You give me that good vibe, alright. You got that good vibe. You give me that good vibe, all night. You get me so high. You give me that good vibe.
Welcome to Bondi Beach. It's not it's not a beach that I spend a lot of time at, but it's definitely one that I do love. If there weren't so many people, I think the fact that it's hard to get into from the city or from anywhere else, essentially, there's two ways in and out, but it's very small roads and it always gets very busy, especially in summer. It's 9 a.m. now. If I was to turn up at 9 a.m. on a weekend during summer, there'd be no chance I'd be parked here. The other thing is, if you are planning to come to Bondi Beach, then do expect to pay quite hefty prices for parking. I haven't checked that out yet, but I'd imagine it'd be at least $6 an hour, potentially maybe $8 or $10 an hour. But overall, it's a pretty amazing spot, and I can definitely see why it's one of the most famous beaches in the world. And you'll also typically find thousands of people on the sand during summer on a hot summer's day. Surfing out there is virtually impossible because you're always sharing the wave with at least another 5 people. Swimming can be pretty hectic. There's always people around you. You've seen the show Bondi Rescue. There's always something going on for the lifeguards, for people to save. However, it is a pretty amazing spot, and it is definitely beautiful, especially for a capital city. It's probably one of the best beaches in a capital city in the world, I would definitely say. I'll show you a little bit more footage around Bondi, and then I'm going to tell you about where I sleep at night in the city of Sydney during the week. Okay, so we're back. Let's now dive into where I actually sleep at night, because a lot of people are asking me those questions, and probably the most common question that I get. The truth is there's a lot of places you can sleep, and the most typical thing to do, and the most what van dwellers tend to do, is a thing that you call stealth camping. So stealth camping is where you roll into a spot at night and essentially you don't want anyone to know that you're there. So I'm just driving into a street now. It's super quiet. There's no one around. That's why I've got this camera. But you want to be looking for places like this. Something like this where, as you can see to the left, there's no neighbors, no one that is going to be complaining. To the right, it's just a garage. You're not disturbing anyone. You're not parking out of the front of someone's house, which is generally what causes issues, I think, is like when you park out the front of someone's house, they get a little bit nervous by a big van parking out the front. Whereas if you're parking somewhere like this where nobody's house is essentially, you know, they don't own that space, then you tend to be all right. So that's just a little quick tip. There's a lot of places, if you start to look in the cities and suburbs, where there's spaces like this, even if there's just like a house that's pointing towards that way, towards the front, but you just park up the side street part of it where you're only, you know, where you're side onto their house rather than front on. That's the number one reason why I bought the van that I did, is because it doesn't look like a camping van. It actually looks like a delivery van. It's also why I have that sitting in the front seat, a little high-vis shirt, because it makes me look like a delivery man, and the van's just chilling there overnight. It's also why I've got a door behind me, so that door there will shut. No one will ever know that I'm in there. And then you can probably see right in the back, there's a curtain. So that curtain will come across at night, and yeah, it blocks out all of the light both in and out. While I'm in Sydney, I sleep around the eastern suburbs, so not this far east. So right now I'm on the beach. You definitely don't want to be near a beach. That's where you will get caught. That's where you will get fined, especially Bondi Beach. They'd be pretty well onto it, and they'd definitely be fining you if you are. Not to mention that, like parking a long wheelbase Sprinter van around Bondi Beach anywhere in the streets is an absolute nightmare. It's really hard to do. So I tend to hang around more towards Bondi Junction. And a quick little tip, there are quite a lot of free places to park during the day around that area. Because I'm living here, I'm not going to give away my secret spots, but I can tell you right now, if you put a little bit of thought into it, there's a lot of free spots. And then at night, I mix it up a little bit. So I have about 4 different places that I'll go to at night. Some of them are more secluded than others. So I've got a couple of typical spots that are just parked up on the side of the street. Places where I'm not really annoying, not parking out the front of people's places. So like, you know, like parks are a good place to park. And then I've got a secret spot, which I'll never reveal because it's amazing. And that's really quiet. It's really secluded. There's one other bus that parks there with me, who I've never seen at all. So we both go in there, we roll in there, we stealth camp. We get out of there early in the morning, and no one will ever know we're there. But we have, well, at least I have the best sleep ever. Super quiet, a little bit in touch with nature. If you, there's a little bit of a hint there, but it's a really cool place. So they're the places that are parked during the week, and I always make sure that I'm quiet. I typically won't have a light on, so no one will ever know that I'm there. What I generally do at night is sometimes I'll be on my laptop doing some editing or watching, you know, some Netflix. Generally, I'm just chilling, keeping fairly quiet and not doing too much. So they're the places that I park during the week. And then on weekends, I get out of the city, and that's when I tend to park a little bit closer to the coastline and to the beaches, because I'm not there all the time. So people aren't going to catch on to what I'm doing. Let's continue on. I hope it's been a great video so far, and I'm going to catch you next time as we dive more into van life. So any questions that you do have, pop them down below in the comments. I'd really love to hear from you. And also, it's a big help for these videos if you do give me a thumbs up, if you enjoyed this, if it was insightful at all, if you learned just a little bit more than you did at the start of this video, that would be super helpful. And I can't wait to see you next time. Make sure you subscribe.